Our beloved show is no more. Now, I've had a week to digest this news and reflect on the series as a whole, the good times and the bad times. And believe me, the good times far outweigh the bad. But is this news really the darkest timeline at work? As a fan of the show, this certainly isn't the news that any of us wanted to hear. We were all, at least I was, confident that NBC was going to give us one more season so that our 6 seasons in a movie dream would be one step further to reality. I mean, NBC doesn't really have another comedy aside from Parks and Rec. Sure, Community didn't pour in the strongest ratings, but it had a strong, loyal fan base, and it was consistently funny and original. I mean, the attention to detail and subtle rewards for just paying attention is something to be praised. What other show would have thought to have their characters say Beetlejuice a total of 3 times throughout multiple seasons, then on the 3rd time actually have Beetlejuice walk by in the background? But alas, TV is a business, and like all businesses, NBC only concerns themselves with what can be profitable. To them, Community had been a bubble show for too long, and they decided to finally let that bubble pop. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that the show got to stick around as long as it did. I'm sure other networks may have canceled it way before it even got to its season 5. I think a lot of my frustration with its cancellation came from how the show ended. Yes, Abed gave us a reason for if they wouldn't be back next year, but is that really an ending? Not to me. It was definitely meant to be a season finale, not a series finale. There are so many unanswered questions. Will Jeff and Annie ever get together? Does Troy survive the Somalian pirates and return to Greendale to tell of his grand adventures? I could go on, but I think it is important to appreciate the fact that it went out on Dan Harmon's terms. Just think if the show would have ended on season 4. How bad of a taste would that have left in our mouths? And honestly, NBC had every right to cancel the show right then and there. But they stuck with it, and for that the show went out on a high note. Strong as ever. And let's face it, although I love all the characters, the reasonings for sticking around Greendale were becoming a little stretched. I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome it back with open arms if it were to get picked up by another network. I would love for the show to continue. I just think that we all need to be realistic here and realize that it isn't very likely that we will see a 6th season. As for a movie, who knows? Look what Kickstarter has done for shows like Veronica Mars and Blue Mountain State. I actually love the idea of 5 seasons in a movie. From where they ended season 5, I can see one movie being able to wrap up everything quite nicely. And how great would it be to have a joke from Abed in the movie about the cancellation? If the show is brought back, then all of these events occurring is just gold for Harmon to use. Only time will tell what the future holds for Community. But on the plus side, we will always have 97 episodes with 80-something pretty good ones. And Allison Brie still exists, so that's a plus. As Dan Harmon said himself, mission accomplished.